Hey everyone, John here. In today's video, I'm going to be adding a feature to the equity research rating collection project. In my last video on this project, I kind of just went over adding in or pulling from the Y Finance website. But before I do that, I want to say shout out to my brother James. One of his videos is blowing up. 2.4K views in 2 days. But yeah, I'm going to post this in the comments just to help it a little bit more. But yeah, like if you're interested in becoming a software engineer, you should probably watch this video. But yeah, shout out to my brother James. Okay, yeah, so let's go over the code that I presented or made in the last video. So what it's doing is it's going to the Y Finance website. So let's go to Yahoo Finance, and then go to whichever ticker that I want to go to. So in this case, I wanted to go to Tesla. With Tesla, I managed to go into the analysis tab and then collect all of the upgrades and downgrades rating on the Yahoo Finance website. So you're going to see here on the 6th, Stifle maintained its rating from a buy to a buy. Evercore maintained its rating from inline to inline. This company stayed at a hold to a hold. This company sell to a sell. Some people, I guess, are short this thing, eh? But yeah, so I managed to get that report. This is the code so far. I've posted this code, I think I haven't posted this code yet in my GitHub, but I will be posting this code on my GitHub. But yeah, so essentially it's just going Selenium, just using this driver, scraping some data. And then basically what I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to try to pull multiple tickers at the same time without getting rate limited. The way that I'm going to be using the method that I'm going to be implementing is called ThreadPoolExecutor. But yeah, like before, like one thing that I thought about before doing this was, or I just thought about is this actually allowed? So I'm going to look that up. Yahoo Finance, can I web scrape it? We managed in just 5 minutes set up. Help. Is it allowed or not? So are you allowed? Nothing? Most says which would interfere with their service. Okay, so I'm just gonna go off this, but I kind of tried to do my due diligence. So nothing in robots.txt allows expressly prevents you from scraping Yahoo Finance. The most pertinent part of this document says basically that you should not do anything which would interfere with the services. So I'm basically not doing any of that, right? But yeah. Okay, let's get out of there. But yeah, so what I'm going to be doing is right now the code basically pulls just for one ticker. So for example, let's try running this code. And then I'll show you the output on the side here. So Control Shift down, Shift Enter. So I'm using interactive Python. So if you noticed, I don't use Jupyter Notebook anymore. I use this interactive Python that basically it allows you to make scripts and then runs part of the scripts in a similar way to Jupyter Notebook, which is pretty awesome, right? But yeah, okay, look at my setup, right? I don't know if you guys noticed, but I tried to make myself like nicer on the screen without a green screen. I made it like a nice 16:9 image. I don't know. Hopefully you guys appreciate that. I got like a new computer and I'm kind of trying to learn how to do some of this stuff. I guess like right here is kind of still annoying, but it is what it is. But yeah, so far we've managed to pull all of the tickers. Let's go to this part of the code. So the other thing that I'm noted that I fixed with the code as well was like, if you pull something with like not a lot of people covering it. So for example, when you look at Tesla, there's like 900 upgrades and downgrades over the last few years, right? That's a lot. Let's see the other one that I was pulling. I think it was Stella Jones, sj.to. When you pull Stella Jones and you go to their analysis tab, they only have 2. So sometimes, like I think in my previous code, if it couldn't find the add upgrades and downgrades button, it would screw up, right? So let me go over to that sj.to and hit Control Shift Enter. Hopefully this only pulls 2. I'm not sure. So like the reason why I'm gonna actually go into like ThreadPoolExecutor and like why I want to use it specifically. But yeah, now you can see like if there is no button, it won't break, right? So theoretically, I can now use this function to pull like multiple tickers concurrently using ThreadPoolExecutor. So let's go over what that is. ThreadPoolExecutor is a class in Python's concurrent.futures module that simplifies the process of managing a pool of threads to execute tasks concurrently. It provides a high-level interface of asynchronous execution of functions and is particularly useful when you need to execute multiple tasks concurrently but want to limit the number of active threads. Honestly, I don't really know what that means, like that that last sentence. But yeah, let's go over the key concepts of ThreadPoolExecutor. So ThreadPool, a collection of pre-initialized threads that can be reused to execute multiple tasks, reduces the overhead of creating and destroying threads for each task. Concurrency control allows you to set a limit on the number of threads running concurrently using the max workers parameters. Task submissions. Tasks are submitted to the thread pool and the executor assigns them to available threads. Tasks can be submitted using the submit method for individual tasks or the map method for bulk processing and future objects. When a task is submitted, it returns a future object representing the execution of the task. You can use this task to check the task status, retrieve its result, or handle exception. Oh man, I really don't know what's going on here. But yeah, let's take a look at this. So let's feed it this code specifically and see how could ThreadPoolExecutor help with this code. How could ThreadPoolExecutor help me with this code? Let's see. Using ThreadPoolExecutor can significantly improve the efficiency of this code when you scrape data for multiple tickers concurrently. Without it, your script would scrape tickers sequentially, leading to longer runtime. By leveraging the threads, you can scrape multiple tickers at the same time, provided the tasks are I/O bound, like web scraping, which is basically what I'm doing. But yeah, so instead of let's see. So basically all I'm going to be adding is a new function, right? So if you look at this one, like how long does it take to pull, right? So let's say I pull NVIDIA. Right? So I pull NVIDIA. It takes some time to send the request, do the scrape. But like, let's say I'm doing the scrape. While it's doing the scrape, it could start running another scrape, right? On like a bunch of different workers. And that way, like I don't have to wait for this one to load up before I scrape the next ticker and then wait for that ticker to load up and then get the next ticker, right? Where I kind of have like, hopefully this is working, but like, let's say you have this task running wait for it to complete, then do another task, then do another task. That's kind of like not what I want to be doing. I want to be doing all the tasks at the same time if I could, right? So that's essentially what it's doing. But yeah, let's take a look at the code and see what the code actually does. So, scrape multiple tickers, create a thread pool executor to scrape data concurrently. So initializes a list and called results, and then with thread pool executor with a max workers of 5 as executor, it submits scrape data tasks for each ticker. So you could see future to ticker executor dot submit scrape data, which is basically my function, and then the data is pretty much or the scrape data is just a function in the ticker, and then it's going ticker for ticker in tickers, which is basically just a list of tickers now instead of just like one ticker at a time. Process completed futures. So for future in as completed future to ticker. Okay. But yeah, like this part of the code, I have no clue what's going on here. Maybe once I feed it into ChatGPT, or once I feed it into my VS Code, I'll determine whether or not it, or like how it works, and then I'll use GitHub Copilot to explain the code to me and maybe make better comments, right? But yeah, let's take a look at that. df.combine. But yeah, so let's get rid of this part. This part is just showing like how do I say it? Just one ticker at a time. So let's add a space here. I have pretty good OCD when it comes to like making sure my code runs right. One more space. Command V. Let's go. So scrape multiple tickers for tickers and tickers. Print combined PDF, and then the other thing that maybe I want to do is why don't I just like make this DF into a Excel spreadsheet. Output this data frame into an Excel spreadsheet. Right, just a quick little script to make that a data frame. Hit accept. DF combine to Excel, and then it's going to go into the equity research repo equity research project, downgrade upgrade.xls v test v1, let's just say, right? So hit Control S on that. Then let's see if it actually runs. And then once we figure out that it runs, we'll kind of determine whether or not command do I already have concurrent futures on this? Command X. What? But yeah. Hold on, just gonna make my code look a little bit nicer. Scrape data. I don't need to scrape data 2 times. Get rid of that 1, 2. But yeah, there should be no errors in this code now. But yeah, looks good to me. Let's try to run it. Shift enter. But yeah, I wonder how long this is gonna run. I mean, like I could also test out like a format where it only runs runs them like sequentially and see the difference. But I don't know if I want everybody at home to like kind of just sit through that, because like I kind of sat through it on a different one, on like a different video, or like when I tried to do it myself, or in a different video, it just was so annoying and so long. I also tried to add like improvements to this scrape data code because it really was taking way too long. I'm not sure if I have if I could do like maybe reduce like the wait driver. Let's see what this does. What can I make this a little bit quicker? Let's see. Try to implement it a little bit. What did it do different? So it just reduced. How to make this a little bit quicker. See, like the code's kind of running for a while, right? Maybe you just feed this into Chatgpt. I kind of like GitHub Copilot, but I really like the chat way more, honestly. Command V. Can this be run faster? The performance bottleneck in this section of code is the explicit wait time for the button to become clickable. This wait is often necessary to ensure the element is fully loaded and interactive before attempting to click it. However, there are a few ways you can optimize it for speed while maintaining reliability. Reduce the explicit wait time. So I can reduce it from 10 seconds to maybe like 5 seconds. Caution: reducing the wait time out too much may lead to frequent failures if the button takes longer to load. Maybe I tried 2 seconds. Use find element before explicit wait. To potentially reduce the time waiting for an element, you can first check if the button is present in the DOM. If it's present, the explicit wait time will usually resolve faster. This approach combines a quick presence check with the explicit wait to ensure the button is interactable. Check if the button is already clickable. If the button is usually clickable right after the page loads, you can skip the explicit wait time entirely by interacting. However, this is less reliable, takes time. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll review that on like a latter episode. I'll try to figure out whether or not like I can really optimize this what do you call it? This bot. Okay, so let's go to is it Option Shift R to reveal in Finder? Option Shift R. Oh man. Like I need to really learn how to use this, but let's go reveal in Finder. Oh, you know what I should have done before doing that? Put myself on what do you call it? Do not disturb, just in case I get a text message and then it ruins my video, right? Upgrades and downgrades V1. Okay, so now we've got but yeah, I had like a subscriber tell me about like this thing called accelerator keys. So like, cause now that I'm using a Mac, I somehow don't have the alt codes. Cause if you're a Microsoft user, you wouldn't know that there's no such thing as an alt code, like as an alt button. Like I didn't know that when I bought this laptop, right? Now I lost all my like shortcuts. Like before on Mac or on Microsoft, you could hit alt and then on the ribbon up here. Can you even make the ribbon bigger? Oh man, that's so annoying. But like on the ribbon up here, you can make it like show all the little letters, and then you can click into the letter, and then that kind of like makes you a lot quicker, right? But yeah, so we have Google in here. See, like even Command WFF to freeze panes. Now I have to go into like, I don't even know where it is, honestly. Is it in view? Like that's the thing when you know all the shortcuts, you don't know like where stuff is. But now you can see like, okay, Google is in here. Let's see. Google has a ton of ratings. What the heck is that? Right? Google has a ton of ratings. Let's actually go up here and then maybe like make this a table. Like usually I would just hit Alt AT and then it would become a table, right? Oh man, so annoying. So data, filter, go all the way to command. But yeah, let's see. Tesla should have like 900, right? Command shift down, 991. That makes sense. Let's see. Everyone's gonna have to bear with me when it comes to like learning Mac. I looked online, like how long does it take to get used to Mac? Apparently 3 months. So like gonna have to make like 390 videos before I get good. But yeah, now you can see like it's all there. But yeah, let's see whether or not like this code actually makes sense though. So once I've generated the code, I kind of should probably review it so I'm not like mindlessly just like copying and pasting code from ChatGPT. Okay, so let's go into the scrape multiple tickers. How does this work exactly? Let's see if I can use inline ChatGPT or the inline function with GitHub Copilot to see whether or not I could figure out like how this code works. Explain this part of the code. So let's go scroll up. Explain this. Certainly, let's break down the provided code snippet. So explanation function defines a function called scrape multiple tickers that takes a single parameter tickers, which is expected to be a list of stock ticker symbols. ThreadPoolExecutor. With ThreadPoolExecutor max workers as executor, creates a ThreadPoolExecutor instance named executor with a maximum of 5 worker threads. This allows the function to run up to 5 tasks concurrently. With the with statement ensures that the executor is properly cleaned up. All threads are joined when the block of code is exited, even if an exception is raised. Submitting tasks. This uses a dictionary comprehension to submit tasks to the executor. That's something I've never ever done before. I've usually just used list comprehensions, but this is definitely something new, so I should probably study that. I got like a comment the other day about how do you spend time learning? Well, my approach is 80% doing projects, and then if you have any gaps, the 20% of your time could be doing courses to fill in those gaps. But yeah, so this line uses a dictionary comprehension to submit tasks to the executor. Schedules the scrape data function to be executed with the argument ticker. It returns a future object representing the execution of the task. The dictionary comprehension creates a mapping from each future object to its corresponding ticker. This allows you to keep track of which future corresponds to which ticker. What the heck does that even mean? What does that even mean? I guess I'm gonna have to really like go into this one. Maybe I'll do a video like really studying ThreadPoolExecutor. ThreadPoolExecutor class from the concurrent futures module that provides a high level interface of asynchronously executing callables using a pool of threads. An object that acts as a placeholder for the result of an asynchronous computation. That makes sense. It provides methods to check if the computation is complete, wait for its completion, and then retrieve the result. Here's an example to illustrate how this might work. So import time from current.futures. Okay, like this is something that I really have to actually learn at some point. Because yeah, like I'm gonna be using this for Traffilatora and then web scraping like a massive amount of data. But yeah, this video I'm just gonna end it here. You kind of saw me how to use like ChatGPT to like make the code and ensure the code works by going into Excel, right? But yeah, maybe on the next video I'll do a full, like instead of using GitHub Copilot, I'll probably try to write the code myself for how do I say it, like pulling all of the stock price data for everything in this what do you call it, in for all the tickers that I pulled, right? So I'll probably like use pandas, pull all these, find all the tickers that I pulled, and then pull like every single stock price for that. Because like the way this project is supposed to work is every time they do a rating, I try to take the preceding 3, 6, and 12 months after the stock is pulled, or like they made a rating, and see whether or not there's actually outperformance. And I'm probably gonna do that by some method, like probably a hypothesis test. Like is the null hypothesis is going to be like the rating and the action isn't statistically different, and then what do you call it, like the alternative will be it is statistically significant. But yeah, man, I need a nap. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, oh, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out like this, like my format. But yeah, I think I even cleaned up my what do you call it, my router, so now you can't hear like a lot of fan noise unless my vent is on. Like I'm currently in Calgary, so it's like -40 out here sometimes, and maybe like at those times the furnace is gonna be on blast and you'll hear that in the back. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Until next time, bye.